This isn't me trying to hate on Rachel, but more me analyzing her character. Like many shows and movies today, many people are analyzing the main character and realizing that the side characters are so much better. And I think the same thing can be said about Glee. Rachel was purposely written as an annoying theater girl who would do anything to be a star, which is fine, but since they wrote her to also to be selfish and put others down to get where she wants, it becomes a problem for her to be the main character, especially in a show like this where you're supposed to root for Rachel, but when almost every character has a better personality and are just as good or even better singers than Rachel, she can easily become the most hated character, which she kind of did. You can write characters like this and make it work, but the character will eventually need growth, and that's the #1 problem with Rachel. She acknowledges that she's selfish and controlling, but doesn't do anything to fix or change her behavior, and she only finally shows long-lasting growth in the final season. It's hard to like someone who is selfish for every season, but the last one, in which there were only 13 episodes, when other people do the thing that is wrong, they learn and grow. But Rachel will learn a lesson, but will keep continuing making the same mistakes. Sue is also kind of written the same. She will do anything to win and is selfish. The difference between them is that Sue is written to be the villain, so she's way more likable, because sometimes it's nice to root for the villain when they are right, and sometimes Sue is right. But with Rachel, she isn't written as a villain, but more of a victim. She was being bullied and wanted to prove to everyone that she'd be a star one day, but you can't present her as a victim when she was also bullying or belittling people. I mean, some of her first interactions with Mercedes was her saying racist things, and when they sang, "You're the one that I want," she pushed Artie out the way. Then they make us try to feel bad because nobody likes her, but she was part of that problem. She always wonders why Quinn doesn't like her, but even before we knew what Quinn's storyline was gonna be, she was already pining after Finn, even the first episode, and after he told her he had a girlfriend. I'm not trying to put all the blame on Rachel. Finn was also at fault for that whole love triangle. Without Rachel, I don't think the show would have worked out. But I think the way they presented Rachel was done poorly, and she would have been a better side character than the main character. It's hard to watch a show or movie where a side character who has way less development is more interesting than the main character, and we're starting to see that happen more and more in media. And I think that Glee is an example of this. You probably heard this all before, but what are your thoughts on this? I've done some basic Rachel character stuff and talk a lot about her writing, typically in comments to other users. I think that you hit the nail on the head. It's not that Rachel is a bad person or even the worst character morally or ethically on the show, and the idea hit behind her character has a lot of potentially. However, the writing completely squashes that you can have an unlikable or a morally gray lead and have a show that works. Except for Rachel was never presented as that. Those types of characters work because they are balanced, have flaws, and struggle with their humanity. Rachel is instead presented as a character who are supposed to root for and is allowed to do what it takes to get ahead, even if it means sacrificing other characters. But she does not have those moments where she has to be confronted with those choices and see how it impacts others and has to truly grapple with her past behavior. Rachel's best season is season 1 because there are other storylines balanced against hers, and the show is still satirical enough that her character works. Rachel immediately begins to fail in season 2 because the start to shit away from an ensemble show to focus on face to pain, be everyone playing second fiddle and getting really small B-plot storylines. The other thing that they lose with Rachel in season 2 is any depth she has from season 1. The majority of Rachel's depth and emotional, balanced storylines come from the Shelby arc, which is never touched upon again after season 1. I've said this before, but Rachel would work significantly better as a Sue type character, and I'm Austin, her and Finn are scheming. She is funny and endearing, and she has a lot of great little moments. She really isn't a three-dimensional character, and that is one of the biggest issues with her leading